We have the first activity on Saturday. This is the city tour.
Women in my country, it's a little more difficult to talk to them, you know. Women in Costa Rica are more approachable. Costa Rican women, they're very beautiful, they're very passionate, they're easy to talk to. The best thing about the social is you get the opportunity to meet people face to face, talk to them one-on-one, you know, and then you get the opportunity to see them outside the social. Like I said, a lot of dating sites, you just talk to people constantly. This site, you know, you actually have the opportunity to come here and meet somebody face to face and see if you have a connection with somebody.
This is the most fun I've had in Costa Rica. There's beautiful women everywhere, granted, but these are some real genuinely beautiful. They all like to work out, so it's all qualities that I appreciate, and these women fit those qualities. The Costa Rican women really appreciate smaller things in life. I mean, you know, of course, family is important with most cultures, but especially important with the Costa Rican women. Intelligent, beautiful, what else could you ask for?
They really want to get to know you and find out more about who we are so we can maybe, you know, have a connection.
Me encantaría estar con una persona estable, honrada, respetuosa y que lo primero para él sea la familia. Eso sería.
¿Qué te trae de los hombres extranjeros?
El calor afectivo es completamente diferente a lo que nosotras las latinas tenemos, entonces creo que somos diferentes.
They are warm, they really want to meet somebody to take care of them and to grow with them, and I think more men need to come here. In North America and Canada and whatever, everybody's striving for materialism and for everything. And what has left, love has left. And coming here has really fulfilled in my life.
Soy comerciante hace 6 años, lo disfruto muy amenamente y es una grada, una escalera para progresar y ser alguien en un futuro o llegar a ser algo más en mi vida.
¿Qué valores consideras importantes en una pareja, en una relación a largo plazo?
La lealtad, la responsabilidad, la amabilidad y ante todo el respeto.
Me inscribí en la agencia más que todo por recomendación de mi jefa del trabajo, que ya ha venido acá, ¿verdad?, muchas veces. Y pues en este caso porque también siento que pues ya buscamos una estabilidad, ¿verdad? Buscamos lo que sería pues una manera ya un poquito más estable de vivir, ¿verdad? De convivir y siento que tal vez por eso fue que me inscribí más que todo.
Gentlemen, good evening and welcome to our Foreign Affair webcast, our Monday night webcast. My name's John Adams, one of the co-founders of A Foreign Affair, and I am with this motley crew here tonight, which I think is great. These gentlemen were here on Saturday for our seminar, and they were kind enough to stay over to join us for the Monday night webcast. So guys, thank you so much for doing that. I'll introduce you here in a second. But yeah, very, very cool. And yes, if you weren't at the seminar, you missed out because that was a lot of fun, wasn't it, guys?
Oh my God. I was amazed at the gourmet dinner you guys had.
Gourmet?
The chicken.
Nothing but the best.
Oh yeah, the lobster tails,
lobster,
crab legs.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
You're not saying anything.
No, that's
You don't
just-
lie.
I'm-
Yeah, he doesn't
I'm
lie.
waiting for these guys. No,
Yeah,
I was because from when I was in Houston, it was a lot more people here this weekend.
That was great.
It was a
We had a really
Yeah, we had a
great
full-
turnout. It was full. It was fun, and no one left. Right? I mean, we did the 4 hours, and everybody's just like, okay, now what? It's like,
Even after the 4 hours, you had to kick people
that's what
out.
I mean, no one wanted to go, so
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. That happens a lot with our seminars, though, because they are kind of entertaining. They're fun, and it's a great way to meet other guys, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so that's kind of cool. Some of the guys were interested in going to the same location. We had a lot of guys interested in Colombia. We had a lot of guys interested in the Philippines. Peru, a lot of in Peru, which was wonderful.
Yeah, I think
because
that was
a
the
lot of
most
guys were
interested. That was between Peru and Colombia. Most guys were
Yeah,
interested in.
yeah. And one of us is on our way to Peru in another week?
About a week and a half.
I
Yeah.
wonder who that is.
Yeah, I wonder who that is. All right, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys since we're talking earlier. This is a Sean. Most of you know a Sean if you're regulars on the show. If you're just tuning in, this is a Sean. Sean's been with us to Philippines. He's been with us to Peru, and he's going back to Peru. And yeah, fun stuff. We'll get back to you about your story.
All right. Hey.
And then we have Jeff.
Or as most of you guys that watch the show regularly, I'm Hunter Blue.
Hunter Blue. That's very cool. And Jeff has been with us, in Mexico and Ukraine.
I went to Germany to meet some ladies.
You went to Germany?
Yeah.
When did you go to Germany?
22.
Okay.
July of 22.
All right. Very cool. Very cool.
Germany was awesome.
Yeah. All right. All right. And I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Go.
Most of the guys probably see me on. My name's Jeremy.
Yeah, but I thought you wanted to. I wasn't sure how you were going to do it with your stage name or your Jeremy.
That is my name.
You don't come on with the stage. I thought you came
No,
on.
I don't have a cool
Yeah, we're the only ones with stage names.
Yeah, they got to pretend to be somebody else. I like to be me.
No, I am who I am, and that's a nickname of mine. So
The two guys, Jeremy and Jeff, here to my left, are both married. And
Yes.
they both met their wives through a foreign affair. It's a wonderful thing.
isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's
It's not
amazing.
amazing because we get lots and lots of marriages, but we will give you one of these.
It's amazing at how it works.
Okay, I'll give you that. Actually, the three of us, because I met my wife
There
through
you
a
go.
foure affair as well.
Ah,
What's your problem?
man,
Oh,
what's
here, we
your
have to do
name?
something. You're the odd man out there.
You
Sean.
got a ring when you go
You
down.
got Jeremy who did it. You got Jeff. Yeah.
You got to take a ring down with you now.
Well, let's not put too much pressure on him. Let's not put too much
No,
pressure.
see, what's amazing
When it
though,
happens, it happens.
Is I defied everything you said to do, and it still worked out.
You know, and that's totally possible. I try to give good advice, and I do it, but there's always going to be outliers. And, you know, yeah, it can work in all kinds of different ways. It really can. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. All right, so, Jeremy, I want to start with you a little bit here. And just talk a little bit about why you decided to go halfway around the world in search of your wife.
That's pretty easy. Just like most other guys, tired of American women. You know, I like to call it the six trifecta. What they want 6-figure income, got to be 6 foot tall. You know, got to have a 6-pack abs.
You're not 6 feet?
No. But you know, I was looking for something very specific. You know, not to put down the ladies on the site. I don't want to do that. But a lot of them don't leave a whole lot to the imagination.
Okay.
So I was looking for, you know, somebody that I thought was more conservative, you know, but, you know, not a prude.
Okay, but you know, one thing I would say to that is you can't always tell by the profile, because sometimes the office or the agency is like, you know, you got to put your best foot forward, and if you wear this outfit, you might get a little more attention. And she might be the most modest woman in the world, but because she's getting help and getting assistance from the matchmakers, she may do something that she normally wouldn't do. Same thing you'll see at the socials. I mean, with our socials, and I think you guys have seen this, you guys have been to the socials, you know, some of those women will just walk up to you and start talking to you and introduce themselves to you. And in another environment, they just normally would not do that. It's out of character for them, but they do it, again, because we create kind of a strange, wacky environment, and there's so many more women than there are men, they have to stand out somehow. So just keep that in mind, guys, when you're doing that. I see where you're coming
I
from.
didn't go to the social.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm just even on the site. If they wear something that
Oh, yeah.
you might consider.
That was just my personal,
I get it.
you know.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. All right, go ahead.
But when I first met her, she was actually here in the States on the United for Ukraine program.
Okay.
So after about 2 or 3 months of letter writing, yes, I know.
That's not too long. That's okay. I mean, at least you say after 2 or 3 years of letter writing, it's okay.
Yeah. So I was going to go up there and meet her. But I didn't know at the time she was working on getting her mom out of Ukraine because of the war, and she ended up getting her mom to go to Greece. So the plan was not then to go to Chicago, because she ended up going to Greece to help her mom because it was too expensive. Another month or two later, cool, I'm going to go to Greece and meet her. Her mom gets sick. She's not a citizen. So then they wanted all the money up front because she doesn't, she's not a citizen.
Okay.
So they ended up having to go back to Ukraine. And I think it was like 2 months later, I ended up going to Ukraine. She met me in Moldova on the bus. Came out of the airport, gave me a kiss right away, and I was like, cool, this is really working for me.
So she traveled to Moldova to meet you, so
Yes.
that she could travel back into the Ukraine with you and kind
Right.
of escort you.
Mhm.
Very cool. That's nice. Okay.
So, I mean, I ended up, we ended up going obviously back to Ukraine. She, took me to where my room was. I told her the address, and it's worked out.
You went to Odessa?
Uh-huh.
So were you a little bit maybe hesitant, a little bit worried because, well, there was a war going on there, and you went in the middle of the war?
Yeah.
So what was that about?
They're obviously, they're sirens that go off there all the time, and I think it's really sad that when the sirens go off, people, they just walk around like nothing's happening. They've just gotten used to it, like it doesn't bother them anymore. Yeah. And it's really sad. I mean, but for me, it doesn't bother me. I'm of the mind of when it's your time, it's your time. Doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing. So if I go to Ukraine, something happens, cool, I get blown up, no big deal.
Great attitude, actually. I like that. Okay.
I mean, the ladies are not going to come to you. You have to go to them. War conditions, no war conditions. I mean, you have to get out there and go do it. I mean, it's not going to just happen.
And how did the marriage come about?
I knew right away, even like writing letters, like before we even met, she wrote in the letter that she loved me. I was like, wow, it's like, but I was going down this road where, it was, I was getting there too. And like I said, I come off the bus, she gives me a kiss right away, and we just happened to meld together really well.
It's funny because that's usually one of my red flags. It's like if someone's saying they love you in a letter and you haven't even met yet, is that really there? But in this case, it did seem to really be there.
One of the things that I threw out there to see what she would do is before I even go, like a month before I went out there, she was talking about having to get a job because she takes care of her mom. Mm-hmm. So I was like, hey, do you need help? And she's like, before we even meet, I can't accept that, any money from you. My mom wouldn't let me. I wasn't raised like that. So I was like, this is the girl.
Yeah, you found a good one. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're slow on the trigger there. Yeah.
There we go.
So keep up on that, Jeff. Tiny. Thanks. All right.
No, that was for me.
Was that for you?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Well, let's go to you now. Okay. Why did you try? And I know you've gone to several different countries in your search for your special someone, and you did very well because I've met your wife in person. She's amazing.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, and so why did you wander outside the U.S.?
Because American women are they've become undateable. I mean, I was on 5 different dating sites for 4 years. And out of that time, I had 4 dates. And I had lowered my standards so much that I normally wouldn't even look twice at some of the women I was trying to talk to and go out with. And I know you hate this story, but I caught a couple episodes of 90 Day Fiancé, and it's like, hey, let me try something new.
Got some Mountain Dew to that. Jeff actually got me some Mountain Dew today, guys. It's great.
It's secretly, I secretly changed it.
This isn't Mountain Dew. It looks like Mountain Dew. What the hell did you do with the Mountain Dew?
Oh, I put some gin in there.
This is great. Yeah, just Mountain Dew, guys. Thanks, Jeff. I really appreciate
some
that.
real Mountain Dew.
Oh yeah.
All right, go on.
But so I started looking at international dating sites on the internet, and it's like every one of them, just write letters, just write letters. How can you meet the women? Oh, they don't facilitate you meeting the women. And when you talk to women about maybe exchanging contact information, they don't want to do it. And then I came across AFA. And that was the only one that facilitated going and meeting the women. So I went to first seminar in Vegas in September of 19. And it's like...
Was I there?
No, you weren't at that one.
Too bad.
Yeah. But I was like, I went ahead and put my deposit down on it, and I was hesitant about actually signing up for a trip at that time because of my liver issues. I was having maybe going in for a transplant. I had somebody that was going to volunteer to give me a live liver transplant, and then he couldn't do it because his wife developed breast cancer. It's like, okay, well, before this gets any worse, I want to go. So I went that January 2020 to Ukraine, to Zaporozhye, and it's like, wow, this is great. And it wasn't just the ladies I met, it was just going to a different country and exploring the culture, going to museums and everything involved in that. And then I went July of 21 on the Ukraine tour to Kharkov and Kiev, and met some ladies there. The guys were great. You know, we'd come down for breakfast and chat, communicate. I'm still talking to one of the guys that was on the tour. And I was like, okay, this is going good, and then the war broke out. It's like, darn. Lost contact with those ladies. It's like, okay, I need to go again. So I went on a tour to Mexico in 23, and it was great. Met some people, but nobody I really connected with. And it's like, okay, it's 24 now. I need to go again. I'm, you know, optimistic. I want to have somebody to share my life with. And that tour, I hit pay dirt. I found the pot of gold, the magic lamp, and my wife is the most amazing person in the world. She's perfect for me. When at the social, she didn't want to be there. Her friends dragged her there. She didn't want to meet a foreigner. She didn't want to fall in love with anybody. She didn't want to travel to another country. She didn't want to learn English. And then she had her name badge all crumpled up so nobody could read it. She didn't even leave her phone number so people could contact her. I went to her table, I noticed her and the other ladies. I talked to them, but they weren't part of what I had in my mind. I saw something very special in my wife when I met her, and our first date lasted 8 hours. We went to a restaurant on the lake that she wanted to go to, very romantic. Unfortunately, the restaurant was closed for a private event. It's like, oh great, I could see the disappointment in her eyes. So I went and said, hey, you know, they have rowboats, you wanna go row on the lake? She goes, yeah, okay, we can do that. We spent 2.5 hours on the lake rowing around talking. Since we didn't speak the same language, we were using Google Translate. Playing music, sharing music.
This is the first date. This is right after the social.
Yeah, rolling
so
around
it's a
in the
continuation of the social. It's amazing.
And I mean, we went on a second date a couple days later. It was great. We went to a small town and we walked into an old cathedral because I like the artwork and the way that everything is in them. And we walked in and I noticed she was a little emotional, I'll say. And it's because she was thinking of her late husband, her mother and father who had passed away, all three of them within a short period of time. And I asked her, I go, you want to light a candle for them? And she goes, yeah, I would. And at that moment, she knew I was the right person for her.
Very cool.
And we went and got candles and did that, and you know, I sat with her and she prayed and everything. It was great. And then we went on our third date, and I met one of her good friends, and that was going good. And our fourth date, she took me to a daytime awards show for TV. And here I am.
So, okay, so how long were you in Mexico City that first time?
I went for 14 days.
All right, so you're there for 14 days. You went on 4 or 5 dates with her. Did you meet her children at that time?
No, no. I went back at the end of July and August, and I got an apartment, and I met her boys then. And this is a good story, is they were impressed because I made them some beef stew for dinner. They never had it, and almost emptied the pot. But they were impressed at how well Google Translate was working for us and talking to them. And they both downloaded it on their phone right away. And the one was telling me something using Google Translate. And Google Translate, it's evil, wicked, know that when you use it. But it translated something he said to something very inappropriate, talking about a female part of her body. I started busting up laughing, and then he double looked at what was being said, and it's like, oh, he got embarrassed and said, oh, no, 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 no. It's like, yeah, I know, it's evil. And we went as a family group a couple days later to the pyramids. And she was doing something, getting ready, and I was alone with the boys, and I told them, I want to propose to your mother. I want to marry her, and I want to know what you guys think. They were in agreement with it, and one of them actually filmed the proposal. We got to the pyramids, and I took her off to the side by some steps and everything, and she wasn't expecting it. She thought I was just wanted to go do a photo op, and I got down on one knee, and then she started to want to walk away quick, and I dragged her back and proposed. And
dragged her by the hair. Come back here.
No, I grabbed her hand. I wasn't a caveman totally. And what I didn't realize, and this is on the video, but there were thousands of people watching this. And after she said yes, you could hear clapping and cheers going off. And then the son-in-law or the stepson panned around and showed the people watching this.
You went viral. Very cool.
Yeah.
Showed the AFA sign in there too. What were you thinking?
I can't think of
Come on.
everything, John.
All right.
I mean, I was nervous.
So she said yes, which is wonderful. And then how long did it take from there to get actually married?
She kept saying 4 years, 4 years, 4 años, 4 años. I said, no. November, we got married.
Good job.
Nice.
We got married in Mexico because we're going to do the spousal visa, which I know a lot of people think the fiancé visa is the way to go, but you have to talk to the person you're marrying and what they want, and because there's different aspects of both of them, and with travel and other things.
All right, well, we'll talk about visas another day, but
yeah.
All right, so you did really well, and he did because I've met her and she's amazing and wonderful and too good for you. But hey, that's why you came to us, right?
Well,
to
I
go
know
way
that.
up.
I know that.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I did the
Heck
same
yeah.
with Tanya.
I know.
Jeremy did the same, right?
I ask every day, so how'd this beautiful young lady end up with me?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
see,
see?
Sean?
See?
You can do it.
Go to a foreign
You
affair,
can do
you
it.
can go up a few
Take
levels,
a ring
okay?
with you when
Just
you go
because
down
of
next
us.
time.
I'm taking notes, mental notes.
All right.
Take a ring with you.
Very cool. Good job. Give
Thank
yourself
you.
a little hand.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now we move to you, Mr. Single Guy at the table. But we're working on that, right? So tell us a little bit about you and why you decided to go down this road and still are, because you're going to be in Peru in another week or so.
Yeah, well, it all started when, I just officially broke up with my now ex-wife.
Okay.
I was on YouTube and
I see the foreign affair videos. So I watched a few, the socials, and that at the time, because my wife was from the Philippines, I told myself, I'm not going to do this foreign thing again. I'm going to just get scammed again. But I signed up on the website, started writing letters. Too many letters.
No one ever listens to me, but okay.
Yeah, I didn't listen in the beginning, but ultimately, after watching the live shows like this one right here, John would always say, stop writing so many letters, get on a flight and go see these women because they want to see us. And eventually I did the jump. I did the tour in the Philippines, loved it, and it was just so weird. All these beautiful women, you know, younger, my age, older, all beautiful, just wanting to talk to me, wanting to make the first move.
Did you get a chance to meet any of the women that you were writing to in the Philippines?
Yeah. I picked like a top 3 that I was writing, and yeah, I met with all of them.
Good.
You know, one of them, you know, it was kind of, you know, it's always different in person, but she's a little more shy than she was on the letters.
Okay.
One, you know, the chemistry was just not there in person, and then the other one, it was great.
That's how it works a lot of times. Actually, a gentleman from here who married his wife, he was writing to 3 women, and 2 of them, once he got there, you know, just wasn't quite there. The other one was like perfect, and he actually invited her to the social for a date, which I'm like, really? You're taking her to the social for a date? Because he already knew he was going to marry her, and he did. I walked her down the aisle here in Phoenix, actually.
Oh, nice.
So, all right. So getting back to you, so you went to the Philippines, but Mrs. Wright just wasn't there. The special someone didn't happen.
Well, this is where I broke another one of your rules.
Everyone breaks my rule. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was dating and dating, but then I met this one. She just seemed perfect. She was way out of my league, and we both wanted the same things in life. So I did cancel a lot of dates and just focused on her for the last week and a half.
A week and a half? You just focused on one person and that was it? Didn't go out? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's definitely a rule breaker there.
Rule breaker, rookie mistake, but
it can work.
Well, look, anything can work, okay? I go by statistics, and statistically, it is somewhat of a numbers game, and it's great if you meet someone you really like, but you also should give yourself the opportunity to meet other women. You know why? One of the reasons is if after meeting these other women, she still is the one that you really want to be with, you feel better about it. You're like, you know what? I've met 3 or 4 or 5 other women, but I really want to be with this woman. She set the bar. One of our clients told me that the other day. It's like, she set the bar way up here, and everyone else I'm meeting is over here. And for me, these women are fine that I'm meeting, but for me, it's here where I want to be. And he went back that way. So, okay, go ahead.
Nice. So
I'll
yeah.
shut up now.
So yeah, after making.
Stop talking.
You stop talking.
So after finding out that you know, it was a mistake, I mean, I still kept in touch with the other women, you know, because we get to exchange info. Some of them found somebody else. Some of them joined the next tour and met their person and got proposed to.
Sure.
So you know, here I am, like, wow, I really messed up. I should have listened to John. So there was a live show.
Wish my wife would say that. Just once, if she's listening. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
There was one live show, you know, just like this one, where you were talking about Peru. And Peru is a place I never really thought about. And you said it's one of your favorite places.
It is.
So they were showing the footage, and I'm like, wow, these women are beautiful. You know, I like Latinas. So I signed up for the Peru tour in October and loved it. Met some great women. I didn't break your rule. I dated and dated.
Okay.
And never just limited myself. Never just met one and felt like she was the one. And then that was October. I went back in February to meet with like the top 5. And now I'm going again in about a week and a half.
Very cool. That's just wonderful. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. You know, and we're going to get some of your guys' questions. We'll read the comments here in just a minute. But when you do something like this, it's not just like, okay, guy goes to the airport, gets on plane, goes over, meet girl, something happens, guy comes back. There's so much more that happens when you get around this, right? When you're over there, especially if you're on a group tour or something like that, but even going over individually, because you're going to another country. You're interacting with all these other people, the food, the smells, the customs, all of that. And the other, like you said, you met a bunch of great guys on the tour. You know, I don't think people understand. You know, you look at this video right now, you see a beautiful room, you see all kinds of stuff happening. That's just a social. But there's another 10, 12, 14 days of other things going on that these guys are experiencing that they'll remember forever.
Well, like going to Germany, I took one of the ladies I was dating. We went to that Bavarian castle, the white castle with the blue roofs, and I mean, that was amazing. And it's great because you get to go places with somebody who lives in the area that knows everything about what you're doing.
Yes, you're not like a
Guides
tourist. You're seeing it through a local's eyes.
Exactly.
And she's taking you to places that are really cool because she lives there. Like if someone comes here, I'll take them to places that most people won't go to. My son, my God, he'll take you to places where you need a survival kit to make it. I mean, he goes out in the middle of nowhere and show you all kinds of stuff. So, but that's what you want, right? I'm going to get to some of these questions and then we're going to come back and talk more. James Taylor, hello all from Kyiv. So he's watching the show while he's in Kyiv on the tour that you guys are seeing footage from right now. Kirk, this is from the Kyiv tour, right?
That is from Odessa.
Oh, that's from Odessa, but it's from the Odessa Kyiv tour that's going on right now. Yeah, and so this is from Odessa. Then this happened on Friday night, right? So just a couple days ago. And it looks amazing, by the way.
So the tour looks like, and I missed all that.
You never went on the tour, right?
I never went on the tour.
Oh man!
Well, we'll have to get you on one anyway. With no, stop laughing up. No. Jeez, you people have turtle minds. With your wife, I was going to say, so you can experience it together and then tell your story and everything. It is fun to experience. James says the ladies over here are awesome. Well, we know that, James. For the past 30 years, that's why we've been doing what we've been doing. And then he also says, well worth it. Every lady is better than the next. See, James, that's the problem you're going to get into because you're going to keep going, what's next, what's next, what's next. I was just talking about that. Yeah. You know, sooner or later, find that right one, which I think you did. Let's keep scrolling here. Yeah, because right here, the next little question, or next little comment is, I think after almost 20 years, I found the one. Good job, James. Chris C says, evening, gentlemen. Evening, Chris. Mr. What's that?
Chris is cool.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out.
Chris says, it's funny. I was telling Joe, Joe's actually the tour leader here, or there. I was telling Joe that I came in with a plan, and I had one in mind. But then I met someone even better and called an audible. Okay, yeah, so you call. And I'll tell you, though, that happens all the time.
Yep.
Guys go over thinking, oh, I got to meet her, I got to meet her, I got to meet her. They get there, and often they do get to meet her, but it's just not what they thought it was going to be because they built it up because they looked at the one-dimensional profile on the site and they had this fantasy in their mind that she was going to come out and it was going to be this and birds are going to sing and everything was going to happen. And when you get there, reality strikes. It's like, oh, you know, maybe she's not what I thought. Her voice is different or she smells differently.
Not just that, John, but in Mexico, I went on 3 dates with 3 different women that I had wrote letters with before I went. 2 of them I video chatted with. We had great conversations, but when I met them, absolutely no chemistry.
Right. Happens all the time.
Yeah.
It does. So that's why you got to go and you got to meet them. I've had guys call me, hey, John, I'm engaged. I'm like, that's wonderful. But now I've learned I have to ask the next question. Have you met her yet? Well, no, but I'm going to meet her. I'm like, well, then you're not engaged. How can you be engaged if you haven't met her yet? Yeah. Mr. Z got back from, what the heck?
He got back from
Peru 2 weeks ago, and it was amazing.
I was actually talking with him about that. I know
you were? You know him?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
You know these people better than I do. I thought Jeremy had a special thing he wanted to say, and no, that's why.
That's one of the great things about this. You know, we meet other guys, and it's like Jeremy and Ashan. Yep. We've been talking, and we met via this web show.
Yeah, these guys have been hanging out. They've been going to dinners together, been doing all kinds of stuff.
Actually, when I was in December, one of the guys that's on here, Ulysses, I actually met him when we were over there in Odessa.
Did you?
Yeah, we talk all the time now.
Oh, you remember him too?
Yeah, I remember him from the chat. Yeah,
it's like old home week here.
We talk all the time.
All right, you guys are funny. Yeah, I got back from Peru 2 weeks ago, and it was amazing. Great, beautiful women. Several of them spoke English.
Yeah, they do.
Michael, what is the situation in Mexico City right now? Any updates? We're still working on it, Michael. It's going to be new and improved, and we are working on that. Actually, yeah, we've been talking about that. Jeff and I have been talking as well. Danielle, hola, Jeff.
Hola, Danielle.
Steve, hello, everyone. What, you pay this guy? Steve says, Wu seems to have lost weight. Good for him.
Hey.
I know things. I know things. I know people.
What's that to do with losing weight?
Well, he just thinks I've lost weight. I've actually gained a few pounds back recently.
It's the angle. You got to,
Is
you
it
got
the
the
angle?
good side.
Yeah. Well, usually it puts weight on.
It's a beard.
The
It's
beard?
a beard.
Oh,
It hides a lot.
distraction?
Yeah.
It hides a lot.
Right, Jeremy?
Oh, yeah.
See, and they put us on this side. They segregated us. Facial
is the good
hair
side.
from non-facial hair.
Yeah. Well, this is the good side. Right?
I disagree with that.
Okay, fine. James says, that was my girl, Nina. That was my girl, Nina.
One of the ones that was on the
Yeah, on the
video.
screen, you think? Video? Okay. What do you mean it was? Passport King says, holy smokes, the legend himself, John Adams, in the house. Yeah, I'm here. They let me in. They don't usually let me in. They have actually security at the door when I try to do these shows. Sometimes they won't let me in. Not my fault. I try.
Yeah,
You know,
well, we wanted to tie him up.
Yeah, they weren't going to let me
He-
in.
He fought us.
I know. So
He took out his sword and tried to attack us.
I try to do this show, and I get kicked out a lot. You think I would know someone by now? But no. Jeremy, we have a question for you, Jeremy.
Okay.
This is from Jake. Did you do video call with her before you went there?
Yes, I actually did. Probably not too long after we started talking, about a month, she's like, hey, can we do a video call? I was like, absolutely.
So she asked for it.
Yes.
Very cool. And, you know, and that's huge, guys. Very huge. I'm going to get to you about that in a second. But I've been saying this for years, that you always should do a video call before you go to meet. But if you're also doing quite a bit of correspondence, quit doing that. Don't do so much correspondence and try to do a video call. And after, you know, say you do 10, 12 letters, okay, which isn't a lot of correspondence. But if you do that and then you're suggesting a video call and she doesn't want to do it for whatever reason, you know, let us know. Say, and we can help nudge, we can help push to at least get a video call for you, because I think that's really important. Because when you did that video call, Jeremy, wasn't it better than letters?
Oh yeah, you get to actually, you know, see how she's, you know, how she is in person. You get to interact with her, and you know, it's more than just, you know, someone behind a keyboard.
Yeah, it's that eye contact, right? I mean, when you're on there, you can usually tell if the woman has interest or not. Is she just looking at her phone a lot? Or is she like looking at you? Is she asking you questions? You know, that kind of thing. Is it reciprocal and all that? So yeah, good question, Jake. You're on the ball. I like
Keith,
that.
that's
See?
a good question.
Great question.
Keith says, what can these guys tell other guys about the ways we might get in our own way when we go overseas and date the ladies at a social? Well,
tell you what
you
not
already
to
helped a little bit with some of the things that you didn't follow, but what's that?
I can tell you what not to do.
That's what he's asking. So, what?
Well,
I mean,
go ahead, and then we'll get to
so I'll tell this story. I think I told you earlier. When I went to do the Embra form, she was very hesitant at first because she had gotten like one or two other guys, I guess, that she was, you know, that talked to her before me, that were sending, you know, pictures, you know,
anatomy.
Anatomy.
Let's call them anatomy pictures.
Anatomy.
Inappropriate anatomy. What else?
Yeah. So I mean,
your elbow. I mean, come on. We know we're adults here. Okay, but go ahead.
it was.
And by the way, women hate seeing that.
I think that's the quickest way to turn a lady off. Any lady.
Women are not visual guys.
And if
They're
she
not.
do-
They
if
want
she-
flowers. They want emotion. They don't need the photos.
And if she does go for it, you know, then is that the lady you really want? You know?
Absolutely.
So I mean, that would be my thing. I would say not to do. I mean, if, you know, let them bring that up.
And women, you know, it's funny because we used to do what was called the reverse publication back in the day, where we would take photos of you guys, you'd send them in, and we'd make a profile of you just like the women, and we'd put it in this kind of little publication, this newspaper thing, and we'd send it, we'd mail it to the women. This is way back in the day, okay? And the women would get those, and if they liked you, they could write to you directly, right? That was way back. And this one guy was a bodybuilder. So he sent his picture with no shirt, right? He's a muscle guy, big muscle guy. And he was getting zilch, crickets, nothing. And so I went to, I think it was Russia back then, and we're going through the tables, and I went to one, and we passed these out at the social we used to at the tables. And I went up to one group of about 6 women. I'm like, got the bodybuilder guy with no shirt, you know, muscles everywhere. And I'm like, what's wrong? Do you like this guy? And 2 women are like, niet, niet, niet. And I'm like, niet? Why niet? Look at him, big one. She's like, no. 2 things are wrong. Number 1, we don't want a man who is prettier than we are. Number 2, if a man has to take off his shirt and show his muscles, then he's got no brain. We want a clever man. We want a man who can help with the family, do things. We don't need that. So keep your shirt on, guys. And don't send those anatomy pictures, and write a poem. They would much rather get a poem or flowers or something sweet, sensitive than that other stuff. So about getting, staying, not stepping all over yourself. Do you have some advice?
Yeah, one thing, definitely be yourself. Don't try to be somebody and have a persona that you're not normally acting like. The other thing is, no,
but as you,
that's part of who I am.
You wore a kilt at the social, by the way.
Yeah, and my wife
but it was
loved
it was your dress kilt. So
I just dressed up. But the other thing is, a couple of guys, and this is a mistake, is they took their first date out dancing and drinking. I think that's a big mistake, because you're doing two things. One, you're showing the women, oh, I'm just a party animal. And, that's I only want one thing, and women won't do that, or they'll see you're spending money and give me some.
Well, you guys got some great questions here. Keep going.
Yeah, one of the best things I think to do is go on a date where you have an opportunity to talk and ask the important questions, what during the conversation. Don't have it as an interview for a job or something. Joke around, laugh, have fun with the date. Show the women your humorous side, all about you, and talk to her and ask her questions. Ask her what she's looking for. Tell her what you're looking for in a relationship. And that way, if you're on the same page. Another thing is, and I know a lot of guys want a larger age gap sometimes, but you guys need to be on the same page as where you're at in your life. One guy that was on the tour where I met my wife, he got engaged to a lady, and they weren't physically on the same page as far as what they like to do actively. Because she rode motorcycles, did mountain climbing, all this activity stuff. And he was more sedate because he had injuries and he couldn't be as physical. And she came to visit him in the States, and they realized that eventually those differences would send them apart. So they ended the relationship amicably and are friends. So,
all right. And do you have any advice so that guys won't trip all over themselves at a social? Or?
Yeah, I do. Well, these guys covered the bulk of it. One thing I will say is, of course, be yourself. But one mistake I made is the first girl I dated in the Philippines, I wanted to show out. I wanted to give her the best date ever. We went to the mall and watched movies. We went to a restaurant called Tops of Cebu. Matter of fact, there she is right there.
That's her. All right.
Yeah, speaking of.
Kirk, good job.
Queued that up perfect.
Guy's amazing. Those guys back there
he
are
needs
amazing.
a raise. They need raises.
Yeah,
Kirk and Kevin, they were just kicking it tonight. All right.
Yeah, how do you know? But yeah, I just gave her the best date ever. And then so that kind of set the expectation. So the next date I was thinking, maybe we can just chill in the lobby, talk, get to know each other better. And it's like, like once you try to go above and beyond, or you try to make it seem like it's always going to be like that, that's kind of what they expect. But I told her, I just wanted to, be a gentleman. You were my first date, and I wanted to kind of explore the city, but at the same time, I'm not going to lie, try to show out a little bit, because I felt that she was the one. Like, she was beautiful and everything. And another thing, your rule, don't meet one girl and think that she is the one and cancel dates and just focus on that one. Because like me, you may find out she's not. And all of those girls you passed up, one of them could have been the one. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, spend time to get to know her. I would recommend the first date is just talking. Go somewhere nice and just talk. Find out what you have in common, and find out what you want in the near future and the far future, just to see if the compatibility's there. Because, many women may let you take them on the best date of their life, and then, that can be it. So when you go on these tours, you want to make sure you find that person, see who you're compatible with, and make the right choice.
It's kind of like what Jeff was saying too, not to go out to bars or dancing and all that stuff the first date. Just
Don't open the wallet up. Yeah. I mean, flowers, candy.
Well, you did the boat ride, but that was nice, just stuff like that. Okay, Andrew says, would you recommend to write letters or go on a tour? I have been writing for a year, and I know that is a little too long. Andrew, this must be your first time on the show, because if you've ever listened to me, there's no way I'm going to tell you, yeah, just write letters. Why would you want to go on tour and meet anyone? I mean, no, we want you to go on the tour as soon as possible and try to meet. And I'll tell you, I never wrote a single letter. And I met my wife 28 years ago this very month, 28 years ago. Wow. All the gray hair to prove it. It was a wonderful evening at a social. I never knew she existed till that night. And she was there, I was there, and a little bit of champagne was there, which helped me. We've been together ever since. And that's just amazing. So, but it didn't come from just writing letters. Now, in other cases, letters can help, and it helped with Jeremy.
One thing I would suggest is, if you are going to write letters, don't do it until you're ready to go on a tour. Yes. And then, if lady wants to continue writing letters, tell her, no, let's video chat.
Yeah, do a video chat, but
because if they don't do the video chat, then that's all they want to do is write letters.
Yeah, and a year's too long. That's too long. So no, I would not do that. I would get myself over there, meet. Definitely be doing a video chat with this woman if you haven't done that. And if you have any issues with it, call me, and I will help you. I'll go to her house with my camera, and we'll do a video chat. All right. Hold on a second. For my passport, what's that?
I was going to say that's one thing that really caught my eye about AFA is, you're the boss man. You're telling us to not write letters and to go.
Exactly.
Versus these other sites, they want you to write letters forever. And
well, they'll keep you on there forever. And look, there is a place for correspondence if you do it the way we tell you to do it, correctly, right before you're ready to go, a month maybe before you're going, and you don't go crazy with it, and you use it judiciously, that's fine. But if some guys, look, and another thing is some guys just want to write, and they're going to write. And if that's what all they want, they get value from that, then that's their thing too. I've had guys tell me they were going through a divorce, they were really lonely, and the only thing that stopped them from jumping off the balcony was just correspondence and me having a connection to someone. So that's good too. But
on Passport King, you know what? Mexican women too make passionate wives.
Well, let's read what he said first. No one else knows except you, and you're talking about it.
He's another one of our brothers.
Well, no, Passport King. Question. Oh, yeah, I know. Okay,
from my research, with proper vetting, of course, Ukrainian women make fiercely loyal wives. Of course, wife. God dang it.
Lost it.
Yeah, it moves when someone else brings in something. Did I go?
No, you went too high.
No, we gotta be down here more. From my research with proper vetting, of course, Ukrainian women make fiercely loyal wives. Of course, wife, one per man, can't be greedy. Of course, wife, one per man, can't be greedy. Yeah, no, I get that. I think that they are very loyal, but like you said, I think they are in Mexico. Anyone, it can be anywhere. It just depends on that woman. Paul says, I count myself lucky that I dated Ukraine and met my wife before COVID and the war. Yeah, that's good. Give him a hand. You met your wife. Congratulations. You always give those guys a hand. Passport King says it's impressive, even with that horrific war, that these women still haven't given up on the hope of a loving union and marriage. That's an emotional, mental, and spiritual resilience that are great for a wife. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. So how is your wife? Your wife is in Odessa right now, right?
Yes.
Dealing with this. In Odessa, we just had a close call with our group at the hotel in Odessa on Wednesday night, their time, Thursday morning early. And it was really close. They had to go to the bomb shelter. I'm not going to get the whole thing, but your wife's living there every day dealing with it. So how is she dealing with it? How is she holding up?
I think it's taken a toll on her, mentally, which I can imagine anybody going through war is.
Mm-hmm.
But like she says, she's grateful to be alive. So.
And you're thinking of moving there?
I am going to move there.
You are going to?
I am going to move there.
Very cool. Even if the war continues, you're going to go?
Yeah, why not?
Well, you've already been there during the war.
Yeah, I'm going at the end of this year. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to die. I don't know.
What's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to die. Oh, okay.
Oh, wait.
Well, okay,
that's my wife.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, now my wife, who's on there as Belen, my husband lights up my life. I love him. I send you all bright greetings.
You get that?
Awesome.
That's amazing. See, that's so cool. That's very nice. Look at that. Jeff's wife.
See, son, you could do that. I'm telling you, take a ring down to Peru.
And you didn't pay her to do that?
No.
She did that all on her own.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't threaten her,
we
pay her?
We don't know that.
We don't really know that. But you were with him most of the day. Did he go off to call her?
There was a time he went back to
Well, we went to the movies yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and I'm showing my wife. I took a little video of inside the theater of how nice it was, and I sent it to her.
Okay, but you didn't pay her?
No.
To write that?
No.
Password King. How do the men that did tours cope with interacting with large numbers of women in such a short time? Well, you want to talk about that? Go ahead.
Yeah. First tour in Philippines, it was unreal. Like, first of all, you walk in the room and there was, I believe, like 160, 170 women there standing up, smiling, just eyeballing you. And there she goes again. Those guys are good.
She is beautiful. Yeah, very good taste.
Yeah,
Focus.
focus. So I walked into what you see on the screen, and we have dinner, we introduce ourselves, but I guess the time at each table goes by so fast, and it's like you want to give equal time to each one, especially if one really stands out. But overall, just try to stay calm, be yourself, don't get too nervous, because the girls can read that too. But ultimately, they'll walk up to you if they really are interested, and they'll make themselves available. And of course, your buddy, which is like your butler for matchmaking, will also be looking out for you to set up dates and make sure you meet women that like you and to see if you like them back. So yeah, it's a lot to take in the beginning, but you'll do all right.
And the first one, I haven't done this yet. I'm gonna have to do this one of these days. Get that T-shirt that says "I survived my first AFA social," because it is bizarre. It's different. You walk into something that you've never really experienced before. If you've never been with us before, you're used to being the hunter, but all of a sudden you're the hunted, and it's just a different dynamic. Dessa, once I walked in the restaurant, in this restroom, and one of our tour clients was in there. I did my thing, and he's just standing there, and there's probably about 300 women out there at that time, and I'm like, "What you doing?" He's like, "I can't go out there." I'm like, "What do you mean you can't go out there?" He goes, "I feel like a piece of meat. I just can't do it, And I had to drag him out. He was in his 30s, and he just couldn't do it because women, he was very popular. They were coming to him. He was not prepared or ready for that. It's almost like you are that hot blonde at the bar where every guy's hitting on her, right? And now you know what she feels like, And so it is different, but once you get used to it, because guys, you're only going to be interested in a small percentage of the women at that social event, right? You're not going to be interested in everyone, and everyone's not going to be interested in you. The idea is to try to navigate that whole social space to where you can connect with those 2, 3, maybe 4 women that you feel a good connection with, and then see what happens from there.
Never happened.
But you never went.
One thing interesting too that I've noticed watching the guys on the tour, guys that are very much introverted, very shy, seem to actually do great on the tours.
Sometimes. I've seen guys they'll shoot themselves in the foot because they'll sit at the bar the whole time. They won't interact.
Well,
we usually push them out anyway.
With Mexico, they do the speed dating.
Well, yeah, so you force them a little bit.
Yeah, they do really well.
All right, we have another question from Daniel for Sean. So, did Daniel says, did he have trouble in Peru being black, or was that an asset in his experience?
Well, one thing a lot of people don't know about South America is there's Afro-Latinos there. So there is black people, especially in Peru. They look like me. They don't dress like me, but
no one dresses like you. Right.
Yeah, you got that
Come
right.
on, yeah.
But so being black in Peru, no, it wasn't like a crazy thing versus like being black in the Philippines. That was different, but both experiences were great. Peru, I blended in. They obviously know I'm a foreigner, but yeah, they were familiar with black people there also. So it was definitely, I wouldn't say an advantage or a disadvantage. They treated me as normal, equal.
And that's the way it should be. All right, Chris says, these guys have great insight. Pick their brain, guys. And they do.
Ow.
I mean, you're at a kind of a...
We're not going to let you got brains.
I'm sitting on them.
Well, there you go. You're at a brain trust here. You got all these guys that are willing to share their stories with you. Who was it? One of you guys, did you, at the seminar on Saturday, you said someone came up to you and asked you if you were paid to be here? Who was that? Was that one of you guys?
Wasn't me.
It was one of our other guys that was here. That was just here. Oh, it was the guy from China, did the China tour. What's his name?
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie.
Yeah.
He said that someone asked him if we pay you guys to come here to It's like, yeah, really. First of all, if you know me, I'm pretty damn cheap, right, Charlie? Pretty damn cheap. So I'm not paying you to be here.
I can attest to that.
Thank
yeah.
you. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, fine.
I only had one guy ask me that same question.
Oh, you have been asked that?
Yeah, I was at QT just filling up, and a guy walks up to me and he says, "Hey, you're that guy. I know your face." And I didn't know where he could have potentially saw me from, but he says, "Yeah, you do those shows," and he said, "You were in Thailand, right?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay. You watched the live streams. I was in the Philippines." And then he said, "So are you working for them, or are they paying you to say nice stuff about the agency?" And I said, "No, it's all from the heart. What I say is what I feel. There's no acting. There's no paying. It's all authentic."
We've never ever paid anyone to give us like some kind of testimonial, nor would we, nor do we have to, because we get guys like you and lots of others that just want to share, and so why would we? I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
We
And
believe
if you
in the process.
you start paying people, like I hear these ads on the commercial, at the end they said this person was paid for their testimonial. Well, then it doesn't mean anything because they were paid for it.
Well,
So
as a matter of fact, Jeremy and I, we actually paid to be here.
they did. You got to get here, right? And
Yeah.
all that, but the food was worth it. Come on.
Not a gourmet meal.
Damn.
Oh, the
Gourmet,
gourmet, yeah, the lobster tail and crab legs, yeah.
You guys missed out.
Passport King says, what is it like with the interpreter interaction? Did men find the interpreter helpful, or would they prefer to tackle interaction with a woman using a translator app? Good question. This guy's asking some good questions.
Yeah.
So who wants to hit that one?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
Okay. At the social, the interpreter is awesome. You get with her before the social and talk to her about everything you want and what you're looking for, and she is your wing woman. She will tell the ladies at the table or wherever everything, and you don't have to really talk much. You can introduce yourself, and she'll just tell your story for you. And then she'll mark down the ones you're interested in, and so later you can go and talk to them and at the social. And on when you go on a date, I prefer the translation app, because then you're one-on-one. You don't have a third party. You're just right there with a woman, and you can communicate, and it's great.
Does your wife speak English very well?
Yes, it's not the most proficient, but she does speak English.
So you're not using an interpreter, using like...
There are some times when I'm speaking to her that she might not understand what I'm trying to say, and then I'll actually use Google Translate. And like Jeff said, I always take back what it says in Russian, paste it back in English, because I made this mistake, and I almost sent it to her one time. I called her silly, and Google translated it into stupid.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with Google
That is the
Translate.
actual definition of the word, because I've done that with my wife too.
Well, yeah. I've had women
Careful,
tell
guys.
our real translators about a guy they're trying to do that this guy's either drunk or he has mental problems the way he's talking, because Google it's not perfect yet, so you gotta be careful about that. And what about you? Would you prefer a real live translator or Google?
Well, Philippines, there was no need because they
Right.
speak English, so my interpreter there was more of a matchmaker. But in Peru, it was good to have him at the social. But on dates, I did a few dates with the interpreter, and yeah, it was helpful. It was useful. But eventually, I just started using Google Translate, and that worked out just fine, because you can download offline languages and just use it right there, no problem. And it's I would say 95% as far as translating. Certain words may get
misinterpreted, but ultimately I would just use apps. Or now I got the earbuds.
The earbuds are great.
About the same thing, so I could talk to my mother-in-law.
Oh, did you?
And like most people, they hate their. My mother-in-law is adorable. I mean, she stands all about this. I mean, she's a little bit taller than that, but I mean, yeah.
Very cool. All right. Yeah, guys, I would say that the interpreters, especially at the socials, are just priceless. They really do a lot of great things for you. They help you. They help you make dates. They help you get going and meeting everyone. So I would definitely do that. And yeah, I think after a date or two, it's good to be alone with the woman. And if she really is into you, she'll normally do that, even if you don't speak the language that great with each other. But one tip I'd like to give to you guys is if you meet your interpreter, especially let's say at the social, and you really like her, like it just happened to one of our clients on this tour, then don't use her as an interpreter. Date her and get someone else, because that can just turn into a terrible situation. Because especially if she likes you, maybe you don't like her as much, then God knows what she's telling everyone about you. Exactly. He's just, don't date him, because she wants to date you. So yeah, if you ever see that, and so make sure you switch out. And we only charge an extra $500 if you steal one of our interpreters. So yeah.
Oh, there's a charge.
There's a charge. I'm just kidding.
Good to know.
The office manager is $10,000. We'll get into that later.
That's the only complaint I have about AFA is the cute employees you hire.
They are cute.
Yeah.
The managers, just you wonder why people try to date them, because they're beautiful just like the girls in the social.
I know. I can tell you story after story, but we don't have time. David says, are things going well for the tour schedule for Japan in November? Will there be plenty of women, you think, because of Japanese being so conservative? Yes, David, things are going well in that, but it's not going to be the same type of ratio as what you see here. So here we had about 15 guys and about 150 women at the social in Odessa, and there's probably the same number of guys and maybe almost 200 women in Kyiv. That is not the way it's going to work in Japan, partly because of the culture there, really. So what we're going to be doing there is you're going to have probably closer to just like a 2-to-1 ratio. So if there's 10 guys, there'll be 20 women at the event. And then we're going to do more events. So you'll have 4 or 5 different events. So you get a chance to meet more women, but not like we do here. And that's just the way that culture plays out. So if that's something that you don't think you'd be comfortable with, then yeah, I would not do that. But we just did something similar to that in Shanghai. And the guys really liked it, actually. It was less pressure on them, they felt, and it was good. As long as you have a good mix of the women that are there that you may be interested in, it works out really well. Okay. All right. Victor says, how did your families react to going overseas to date? We'll start with you and go around the horn.
And both of my parents are already gone, so I don't have anybody to answer to, so I just went.
Your friends, did they say anything? Like, you're going to lose a kidney, you're going to die, anything?
I work 100 hours a week. I don't have time for anybody.
All right, Jeff?
Actually, well, my parents are both dead. My mother was still alive when I started this, and she was okay with it. And my kids, they're grown, and I talked to them about it, and they were okay. They just basically wanted me to be happy.
And find someone older than they were?
Yeah. My son told me if I date anybody his age, he'd kill me.
Yeah,
so.
I got that. And you?
Well, my parents were supportive. However, my cousins and a lot of other people in my life, they just didn't want to see me hurt again. So they told me just find a woman here, and yeah.
Well, that's why you went over there, not to get hurt.
Yeah, I mean,
right, exactly.
I understand that reasoning, because you can get hurt here just as easily,
yeah,
if not
exactly.
easier.
You can get hurt anywhere,
Yeah.
and you know they're kind of closed-minded. They're not open up to the idea to do what I did.
Yeah.
So you know that's why they're still single and upset and bitter.
And bottom line, you got to do what makes you happy.
Yes.
Sure.
Gotta do what makes you happy, not what
It's
others.
your life, not theirs.
Yep.
Well, way back when, my mother's gone now. Of course, my father's gone before we even started this. But way back when, my mother was very supportive of this, and she actually got to meet Tanya, and they were really close, and it was great. So that was a wonderful thing. My sister, when I told her what we were going to do with the business, she's like, "Oh my God, you're going to Russia? They're going to brainwash you. You're going to come back a communist." It's just like, yeah, just relax. I think I'm going to be
Well,
fine.
see, that's one thing is, and people have asked me that if when I go down to Mexico, if I'm not afraid of the crime or anything. It's like I feel safer in
You're in
Mexico
Phoenix
City
right
than
now,
I
yeah.
do in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You know?
So Brian says, hey, John, what's the deal with the tour in Los Angeles? I didn't even talk about the tours coming up, which I really should have. And I was going to talk about the tour in Los Angeles. So it's not really a tour in Los Angeles, okay? Because, again, talk about danger. But, well, yeah, the State Department doesn't, say put out any warnings about that, but they'll put out warnings about everywhere else. It's what it is there's going to be an opportunity to meet some women from China and Japan, I believe, at the social events. There's going to be a couple social events, one on the 20th of September and one on the 21st of September. And I believe we're charging $500 for any man who would like to attend those. And we're also doing a seminar on the 20th in LA as well. Yeah, September 20th. So now this is, again, not going to be the same ratio that you're seeing here, right? It's not going to be 150 women and 10 guys. It's going to be closer to a 2-to-1 ratio. But the women are here, and so it might be interesting. It's something we're trying. There's some partners of ours that are helping us with this, and so it's going to be an interesting little thing. So if that's something you're interested in, give us a call, and Michelle can give you a lot more information about it. But yeah, that's happening in September, what did I say, 20th and 21st? But in August, we do have a Cebu tour going, August 21st. Guys, Cebu's amazing. You've been to the Philippines. Yes. You would highly recommend it, I'm assuming, yes?
Yes, highly recommend.
Cebu's great. Bangkok, anybody's been to Bangkok here? No? Yeah, no. So we have a Bangkok tour. Bangkok's amazing and wonderful. That's going to be on the 28th. I know there's some political things going on in Thailand right now, right, in Cambodia, but in Bangkok, things seem to be calm. So, hopefully we're not going to have a situation we're dealing with in the Ukraine over there. Then we have our Kiev tour, speaking of Ukraine, going November 26th. Guys, those, even with the war, those tend to sell out pretty quick. And it's not like we're taking 30 or 40 guys because we just don't want to do that right now. So if you want to get on that tour, I would highly recommend getting your $475 deposit in ASAP because that will sell out. Every one we've done since the war has sold out. Go figure.
We need to do more.
We need to do more. No, we're doing the right number. I like to sleep, and when these tours are going on, I don't get a wink of sleep because I'm always worried about everybody.
It's like at the Mexican Social when you were down there. I was amazed at how nervous you were. It's like you're waiting over for the baby to be born.
I'm always nervous with all these things because I want them to go well. I really do. Costa Rica, July 12th. That's going to be fun as well. And then Tokyo, November 7th. So we're going to have a tour to Tokyo. And, these are new and they're cool and they're great. So, yeah. All right. Chris says, I never give up. I know the woman for me is in another country. The search goes on. Hunter's wife might have a friend for me to meet in Mexico.
My wife has had women coming up to her and asking her, hey, how do I meet a foreigner?
All right, I'm going to go a little bit faster because we're already over time and I get yelled at and then I get the letter the next day and then they lock me out. So we got to move and how do the men that did the tours cope with interacting with large numbers of women at such a show? We talked about that in a short time. I think we did that.
I agree with that, Sean. Lakota.
John, in the future, after I propose to my lady, hope you can come to the wedding. Jeremy, no. Although it's spelled K-N-O-W, so I don't know if he meant no Jeremy or something.
Is that Ulysses?
Yes.
Yeah. I get a wedding invitation to that one.
You're gonna get one, you think?
Oh, Lakota's in the house.
We talk all the time.
Yeah.
What's up, Lakota?
And he's agreeing with you, Ashawn. He says agree with Ashawn. And thank you, Ulysses. I would love to have the wedding. I don't get hardly any wedding invitations. We get all these marriages all the time, and they just forget about John. The John's just like, who's John? And so, once they get married,
about that.
No, we don't get them.
I met my wife but she didn't want to come down to Mexico.
Yeah, we didn't. I didn't get one from you.
Well, no,
mister.
You get so many anyway. But Anna didn't.
See how it is?
Would have completely invited you. I mean, mine wasn't even like a wedding. It was just more like getting something notarized because it had to be like so quick.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here in Arizona, so
you better invite me. I'll crash it. I'll just crash it. I'm not shy. Lakota, agree with us. Okay, we did that. Congrats on Passport King says congrats on 28 years of marriage, John. Well, actually, it's, to be honest or fair here, it's 26 years of marriage, but I met her 28 years ago. So we've been together this month for 28 years, but it took me a year and a half or so to convince her of what a wonderful person I am and to marry me. Wasn't easy.
I didn't have to
do
that
you didn't have that
because
problem.
I'm so awesome.
No, you forced her. She wanted to wait 4 years. You're like, no, we're going to do it now.
No, I told her it's not going to happen. I'm too old.
Ulysses, hope you find your lady in Peru or another country. He's talking to you, I think.
Thanks, Ulysses. I appreciate that. There will be some updates. I can promise you that.
Brendan says, are all of the women waiting at the table for the guy to ask them questions, or do they ask questions as well? You haven't been at a table. You have.
Yeah, in fact, in Ukraine, and this is a funny story, I sat down at the table and started talking with the women, with the translator, and they were asking questions, I was asking questions, and all of a sudden the waiter came over with a tray of champagne for the table, but it tipped on my shoulder and spilled all over me, down on the floor, glasses breaking.
You smell like alcohol?
Well, the women were shocked at first because they were, oh my God, he's going to get upset and angry. I started laughing, and they came over and helped to dry me up. And
You like that, like a massage?
well, yeah, I mean, hey, you know.
Yeah, we charge them a little extra for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to pay the waiter for that.
Yeah. All right. Brandon wants to know, do you still send the women profiles of men so they can see if they are interested in a man, or is it all the men reaching out to the women now? Yeah, the women can come into the office and browse the men's profiles. They can do that, but we don't send. We don't send that publication out anymore. I mean, that was like probably 15, 20 years ago. Gojo, how was the trip from America to Ukraine? Like, how bad was it after Poland? So, yeah, be you. You didn't go through Poland. You went through Moldova.
I've never, because it takes so much longer to go through Poland. I mean, I heard it's like 10, 12 hours. I mean, look, I was going through Moldova.
Well, because you're going to Odessa, but if you were going to Kyiv, it would probably make more sense.
Even then, it would make more sense to come through Odessa and then just take the train up there for like 6 hours, and you'd probably still get there quicker.
You know, that's what I always thought too, but it seems like most of the guys, when they're going to Kyiv, they go through Poland. And that's like a 15-hour train ride once you get to the border to get in to Kyiv. So it is a long, long ways to go. I think I'd go through Moldova too if I was going to go to Kyiv.
Yeah, it's a lot quicker. I mean, it's only like a 3.5-hour bus ride.
Yeah. Mr. Z says, someday I want to be in the show and share my experience. The tours are an amazing experience. They really are. Hey, Mr. Z, you come to Phoenix, we'll put you right in here, right? I mean, yeah.
Hey, how long have I been begging you to do this? Long time.
It's not like you're outside the doors saying, please, let me do it. I mean, you came here, and we got you in first
he
time.
was whining about, let me out of the heat, let me out
No,
of the
yeah,
heat.
we were whining about the heat.
It's
Guy used to
hot.
live in Bullhead City, please.
Yeah, it's
hot. These guys are here on one of the hottest days of the year. I think it's going to hit 111 or something like that.
I've been here when it's been freezing, too.
Yeah, well, that's what's nice about it. At least it's not the same all year.
Yeah.
James says, for the tour in Japan, will profiles for women be uploaded to the AFA website? You know, James, we're still kind of working that detail out. They may not be because, again, of the culture and some of the women who just don't want their profiles out there. They don't want to correspond. They just want to meet. So they may or they may not be. And I know it's a little different, and it's not our usual MO, but that's what we're doing right now. And my partner is a little bit more involved with that than I am. So let's hold. If you want to call in tomorrow, talk a little bit more, I'm sure we can get him on the phone. He can tell you a little bit more about that. Pastor King says, luckily, I don't care what my family thinks. I'll find my beautiful foreign bride overseas, and neither they'll accept she's my wife, or they won't get to spend time with my foreign wife and my children.
That's right.
Damn it. Well, I added the damn it. But you know what? I totally agree with you. And I tell that to guys all the time. You know, I do a lot of seminars all around the country, and we did one just the other day here. And I've had guys who we just could not go on the tour because of what their friends or family thought and would not go. And some of the guys had to wait till their parents passed away before they could go. And, you know, and my reply to that is, you know, who gives a rat's ass? You know, this is your life. It's not a video game. You get one of these things, right? You don't get to do over. It's one.
I've had several do-overs.
Yeah. You've been lucky, okay? But most of us are not Jeff, and we don't get those do-overs.
Well, I'm a Ken.
Yeah, okay. But I'm just telling you guys, you know, you're the one that's going to be spending the holidays alone. You're the one that's going to come home to a lonely house. You're the one that's going to be doing all that. But your friends and family will be happy because you didn't go overseas to find someone. Screw that. And it's wrong. And so don't fall in that trap. And why not? I mean, these women are so wonderful. And then, and I talked about this Saturday at the seminar. When you marry someone from a foreign country, you're mixing two cultures and they come together as one. And that enriches you. It really does. You get to learn the language, but you get to learn a lot of other things as well.
And statistically, people that come together from different cultures, their marriages actually last longer.
Absolutely, that's right. But you've experienced the food, the culture, the holidays, all the stuff that you never really knew much about before you married her, right?
Yeah, I was always into Slavic culture to begin with. So
Just say yes, John. I did experience all that.
You're right, John.
Thank
you.
But so you were in this, thank you. But you were in the Slavic culture, so you knew some of these things, but now you're actually experiencing them,
right?
Which is a little bit different.
And the food over there is so much better. I lose weight every time I go over there.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Oh, and we're just about done. Lakota says, I'm going to do my wedding at the Phoenix office. That way John and Anna can't say they weren't invited. I love that,
there you
Lakota.
go.
We haven't.
We got space.
Yeah, we got space. I don't think we've ever hosted a wedding here. I think I would love to do that. Actually, there's a park right across the street, and if you don't come in July or August, it would be a great place to do one. We could do one.
No July or August.
Yeah, you don't want to do it in
September
July
or October.
or June. Yeah, October's getting better.
Oh, one thing I will say about the tours is the guys that I met on the tours, I'm actually still in touch with a lot of them.
Yeah.
They're great. Like actually Ricardo, shout outs to Ricardo. He's just texted me saying he's watching. Met him in Peru, and a few I met in the Philippines. I'm in touch with them as well. So
very cool.
That's another benefit to joining the tours.
Yeah, I'm still in touch with one of the guys from July of 21.
Wow.
Yep.
And others, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And you never went on a tour.
See, you don't have all.
You know,
these
I'm going to
friends
sign up just to go on a tour, just to say I've been.
I
on
told
one.
you.
I can go tour the country. You know, get my vacation out of it. And,
There you go.
Yeah. You know, you guys were really lucky tonight out there because we had three wonderful people that were willing to share a little a little slice of their life with you and their experience. And, you know, that's really cool because you don't see that with a lot of companies and businesses where guys just are willing and wanting to do that. And I am really humble when it comes to that. And I think it's wonderful that they're willing to do that. I think it's so cool. I just want to ask one more quick question. I'll give you guys 30 seconds to say some parting words and give the guys some advice, okay? But we didn't talk too much, and again, you weren't on a tour, but maybe you did have some help with some of the staff. But the staff in general, you know, sometimes they're the unsung heroes because they work with you guys, and you guys, okay, are easy to work with, but sometimes we get guys that can be a little bit more challenging because they're in a foreign country and they're a little nervous or they're anxious and things, you know, when you are in a foreign country, don't always go the way that you want them to go because, well, you're in a foreign country and things are different, and yet they want it to be just like it is in the States, and sometimes it just isn't that way. And so our staff has to deal with all that and then work with the women, work with the guys, try to bring people together. And look, I was telling someone the other day that, you know, I kind of envy sometimes the tourist companies that just do tours. I mean, how easy is that? Well, we have to, you know, book the hotels and book the vans and figure out where they're going to show the guys the churches and this and that, and everything's paid for, everything's booked. Okay, we do all that anyway. We can do that with our hands tied behind our backs and our eyes closed because that's simple. The hard part is the part you can't control. The part where you're bringing men and women together, some who have been writing quite a bit, some who've never even seen each other before, and you're putting them in a room together and you're stirring the pot and you're hoping that things happen, hoping that people can come together, and you're facilitating that, you're helping that, but you're not controlling it. And so you lose control because you don't want to have control. And that staff works really hard at finding that line and doing that. So I'd like to talk to you two guys about that, and even Jeremy, because maybe you did work with some of the staff here to help.
I got a staff story.
Okay, but we'll start over here. So what was your perception of the staff and the different places that you went? Were they helpful? Did they?
Yes, the staff was very helpful. You know, they were, you know, of course, like Philippines, you know, they speak English, so like the interpreter side, I didn't need those services that much, but they're very attentive. You download WhatsApp and you could text the staff any time of the day or night, and they will put you first and, you know, fulfill whatever you need. Just like in Peru, if a girl's late to her date, they'll text you, or if anything pops up or if you need anything, they're just a text away. So big props to the staff, Peru staff, y'all are great. Philippine staff, y'all are great as well. And yeah, they made the experience so much better.
Did you feel safe?
Oh yeah.
All the times you were over?
Oh yeah, all the time. You know, Philippines, I was familiar with the Philippines, but Peru, I'd never been there until the tour. And yeah, I was just walking around, not looking over my shoulder, not afraid that someone's gonna, you know, pickpocket me or anything, because the Miraflores area is amazing. So, but yeah, I felt safe, happy. Anytime I needed the staff, I can just text and they would jump right on it.
Did you hang out in Love Park?
Oh yeah, with all the cats.
Yeah, and the hang gliders going off the cliff there.
Yeah, I did it. I did.
You did it?
I did. I did paragliding.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
Right there?
Right there. Well, you know where Larcomar is? There's like another place where you, like down on the bottom of the hill.
Okay.
Where they you start up there and then they drive you up another hill and then you paraglide off there.
Very nice.
Very nice. I got it on video.
Cool. And what would you say about the staff in general?
The staff has always been awesome. In Ukraine, it was great. I mean, the first time I went by myself, any questions, any problems I had, I could call, answered quickly. Even when I was walking about one of the shopping malls and I had a question about something, I was able to contact because my translator wasn't working on my phone at the time because I didn't have reception, but I called them on the phone and they translated over the phone to help me out. In Mexico, again, it was great, you know. The women that were in the office there at the time were there helping, and guys had no problems at all.
Cool. And Jeremy, did you interact with staff at all?
Actually, yeah. If it wasn't for Anna Stewart, I probably wouldn't be married.
Oh.
So when I went over there, I told my soon-to-be wife at the time, I was like, "Hey, don't say anything." And of course, she wanted to be honest. When they asked her, "Was he married before?" "Oh yeah." So they wanted some paperwork that I didn't happen to have, and I called Anna while we were there, and I had my wife talk to her, and she told us how to go about getting everything done within 24 hours. And if it wasn't for her, I mean, you guys go out of your way to help people.
Yes.
Good.
100%.
All right. Next, a couple. Pastor Working says, excellent broadcast, and thank you for answering my questions. And Mr. Z says, AFA staff in Peru is amazing. I'm sure Sean can second that, which he did already. All right, guys, so we're going to wrap this up here before I get the nasty letter from corporate tomorrow, and then they fire me. So, because that's happening a lot out there.
You hear that?
Good thing I have a thick skin. That's all I can say. So we're going to start over here with Jeremy. Jeremy, you got 30 seconds or so to give the guys any last minute thoughts or maybe some recommendations of what they should do.
I mean, basically, you guys are going to have to go out and go to these girls. They're not going to come to you. I mean, that's what I would have to say. I mean, you have to get out and go to them.
You got to make something happen. It's not going to happen sitting on your couch writing letters.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to happen. I mean, if you don't go, then you can't complain about it.
I mean, you did write letters, but you also got off your ass and went and met them.
Exactly.
So, or her, and that happened. So yeah, it's great.
It can defy logic. Just one lady.
There you go. And one lady, I know, which is against my rules too.
One and
Did
done.
a few things against my rules, but you know what? It worked. And
It
you're
did.
married, and it's great.
It did.
Chuck?
Don't write letters. Definitely. Go meet the women. You'll be amazed. The tours are great because you get to go see so much wonderful things, meet wonderful people, not just the women, but the guys on the tour. And you can get lifelong friendships out of that. And you meet the special person. It might not happen the first time or the second time, but it will. And one last thing I have to say is, if my wife is still watching, te amo, mucho besos, amor.
Oh.
Is there an all thing?
There's an all?
Oh.
Let's see. No.
No, just no. I was looking at him earlier.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it may not happen the first or second time, but I had a guy came to me once. He said, "John, my biggest complaint about this tour is that it worked, and I can't do it again because they are enjoyable."
Wasn't it you that said that?
That wasn't him.
No, I've said it too.
Well, you said it.
I've yelled at you.
Yeah. Sean?
All right, so as the guy said, don't sit there and be a keyboard Romeo. Get on the plane, meet these women, be yourself, and be respectful. But one piece of advice I can give you is pick the country that you feel is best for you. If you like Latinas, look in South America. If you like Asians, look at Thailand or Philippines. Don't just go off impulse. Look at the site, put them on your hot list, and get out there.
I mean, at the very least, you're going to get a cool vacation out of it.
Yeah.
About the worst that'll happen to you. All right, guys, we really want to thank you so much for joining us. I don't know who will be here next week, but I doubt they'll let me back in. But that's okay. Whoever it is, we'll do a great job.
What, an hour overtime?
Yeah, not quite. About 20 minutes. Not too bad. So, yeah, we really appreciate
I can
you.
keep you talking.
Yeah, I know you could. But yeah, these guys, they need to go to bed. It's getting late on the East Coast, right? So, thank you so much, and we will see you next Monday night. Be safe. Bye-bye.
Women in my country, it's a little more difficult to talk to them, you know. Women in Costa Rica are more approachable. Costa Rican women, they're very beautiful, they're very passionate, they're easy to talk to. The best thing about the social is you get an opportunity to meet people